Okay, we just had a momentary lapse there. Graham Little, knee Peter Pope, Facebook Live number 4 session, and tonight we're going to address the issues of the NHMRC public consultation, and secondly the review that's been done behind closed doors at the moment, but we're going to open it up a little bit. The state-based health complaints legislation is being looked at by each state as we speak. The third area will be a discussion of how we can leverage a visit from that well-known US advocate, Brandy Vaughan. LearnTheRisk.org, those that don't know you, she was a whistleblower in the Merck case, which resulted in a $6 billion fine and settlements for Merck in relation to Vioxx, and she's got a lot of thoughts about the way drug companies are conducting their affairs, and she's agreed to come to Australia during Cup Week and then hopefully up to Sydney and other states. So if we get back to the NHMRC, I've talked about to some of you already. What it is a structural review of the grant program. Now, for those that are not aware, there's around about nearly $1 billion a year goes out to scientists around the country. Last year there were 1,135 scientists that received grants. Now, this is a public consultation. We're all able to go, and we're well aware that natural therapists have got a pretty raw stick when it came to 2 reviews that National Health and Medical Research Council have done in recent years. In fact, last year, one in March, the homeopathy stitch-up, and then a very big stitch-up of the entire 17 natural therapies that are not part of the APRA situation. So that was a pretty big one too. So those reviews are going to take place first in Canberra, and I'm heading there tomorrow night, actually. Yes, I have booked my flights thanks to donations from many of you, and it's very expensive to get to Canberra, so I don't know what's happened there. It's certainly no Tiger Airlines. So Canberra is Wednesday the 20th at 9:30, and then there is one in Perth for all you people in Perth, the 21st. I won't be getting there because it's just too tight a time frame. I'd rather spend more time in Perth if I came. Melbourne is 2 sessions, one on Friday the 22nd, which I'll be attending, possibly both, 9:30 and 2 o'clock. I'm then definitely going to head to Brisbane on the 26th of July, and there's one in Adelaide, which I'll be passing, because I have been to Adelaide twice in the last couple of weeks. 27th of July for Adelaide, and Sydney is the 28th of July. So I'll definitely be going to the Sydney one. Okay, so I'll be at Canberra on the 20th, I'll be Melbourne on the 22nd, Brisbane the 26th, and Sydney the 28th. Now, happy to meet again with small groups of you or individually, and some of you might like to come along, and we'll develop tomorrow a list of questions that might be worth asking. I've certainly got plenty, but we might need to condense that into perhaps the best 3 or the best 5 questions. The other thing I think we can do, the submissions are in by the 25th of August, so they're not giving us a lot of time. I think that's a deliberate move on the NHMRC. They don't really want a lot of change here. They want all the gravy going to all those scientists that work for the drug companies. But maybe there's a chance to carve out some research dollars for natural health therapies, particularly in areas where the evidence is actually pretty good, but just fell short of the huge bar that the NHMRC put last year in their review. It was a bar way, way higher than is normally applied to normal conventional medical treatment. So you have got a lot of evidence, let me tell you. And I did have a meeting on Friday in Sydney with John Wardle, who's happy to help and has done quite a lot of work in which areas would benefit from more research dollars. So I'm working with John on this, and look forward to perhaps taking a delegation of the natural practitioners to their own associations. Let's see if we can get the associations involved in this. They may have more firepower and might want to participate in how we can address those 2 very bad NHMRC reviews by additional research. And that could be in any of the 17 therapies, or indeed other natural therapies like chiropractic, osteopathic, and also Chinese medicine. So let's treat this as an opportunity for us to all get involved with our associations, see who's interested in helping you, and take advantage of this public forum. Okay, The next topic I had listed was the health complaints legislation. And I only by accident stumbled on this when I walked in off the street to the South Australian, let me get the name right, Health Community Community Services Complaints Commission, I think it is. I don't know whether I got that exactly right. They're all different in each state. I'm trying to get them right. And a very, very helpful lady there explained to me that behind the scenes, there is concern that there are different codes and different acts in each state affecting unregistered practitioners, including many of you listening, and that they are working behind the scenes to unify all this. Now, I think the opportunity again is to create a dialogue with all the state legislative bodies. I'm meeting tomorrow with the head of Jill Hennessy's health department, Pauline Island, at 2 o'clock. I'm hoping we can get some headway on what's happening in Victoria. And I've been in contact with the New South Wales Commission and hope to see the Brisbane Health Ombudsman, or the Queensland Health Ombudsman when we get to Brisbane. Again, I think the associations, you could be talking to your associations, see if they'd like to participate in this chance to get a proper unified code. And let me tell you, the opportunity is interesting because rather than all the states having to change their acts and codes and whatever, maybe this gives an opportunity for a sensible result, which could be a unified code I've been talking about, but it could be brought under the auspices of the same body regulating Big Pharma through their Medicines Australia self-regulatory body. So let's see if we could actually make more sense for the states to let this part of their health complaints go to the ACCC under a code of conduct, rather than having to mess around with 7 state acts and all the different mandatory codes they've all put in play. It also means that Victoria's got a tricky situation. Do they go ahead with their tougher one in, say, February, March next year, or do they wait for the new version that they're aiming to have going by July, I was told, 2017? So it doesn't make a lot of sense for Victoria to start in February, March with their new one and then have to change 3 or 4 months later. I think that's lunacy. Anyway, I'll get a better read on it tomorrow and I'll let you know. Okay, so that's a chance, the second chance to A, work with the government, and B, work with your associations. And I'm happy to facilitate working groups with you in each state for that purpose. Then if we could talk briefly about Brandy Vaughan. She's due to come the day before Oaks Day. I'm planning to have an anti-corruption seminar on the Friday of Cup Week. That'll be the Cup Days on the first Tuesday in November. You all know that. Happens to be the 1st of November. So Oaks Day will be the 3rd. So this will be the 4th of November. And then hopefully take Brandy to Sydney perhaps for an event on the Monday or Tuesday the following week. And then she's keen to go to the warmer states, actually. And she has been to Australia before, and she may well put us in touch with quite a few other whistleblowers that could make quite an impact. So I need a working party that's interested in putting those seminars together. Definitely one in Melbourne and then one in Sydney. And then we'll see what else we can organise. The final point is many of you are helping me. I'm up to 9 minutes, that's pretty good. I was going to try and make it 10. We've been doing a project for all you friends of science. If you've got anyone out there spying on this very public Facebook Live, I've gone public, so it's no secrets what we're doing here. Just like there's no secrets on your website. You want to obliterate natural therapies and we want to protect them. So it's fine. We've all got our jobs to do. So we're going through all of the NHMRC grants the last 3 or 4 years because many of the members of Friends of Science in Medicine, that's how they became members. They had received grants from the NHMRC. So we've just worked this out. I'm a bit slow, but eventually I work out quite a lot of things. Takes me a while, but many of you, Friends of Science in Medicine, we're up to about $150 million you've got. There's probably at least 100 so far, and we're still counting. Actively involved in research projects with the NHMRC. And we do know that publicly you have mentioned some of your people have been on natural therapy reviews, and let's just say there might be a couple of others that might not have disclosed an interest, but we're well aware that more than one of your members did actually participate in another one of those reviews. So we're here to make all of you accountable too, Friends of Science in Medicine. So we'll be looking at how you spent that money, taxpayers' money. What did you research? How did it match up to Cochrane? Have you heard of Cochrane for the Friends of Science in Medicine? And not familiar with Cochrane, I know you never use it in relation to your own material, but for those of you that are aware out there, we are going to do a very big exercise. It might take us a long time, but we'll methodically go through every single Friends of Science in Medicine's got a grant, and we'll look at how you've done your research. So it's going to be a level playing field. We're not asking for any benefits here from government or anybody. We just want a level playing field of evidence behind treatments and a share of the research dollars that we, the taxpayers, put in. That's all. So this biased concept you've got involved in, with your links to overseas, we've tracked all that back too. We know where you've come from, and all that'll be revealed in good time. That game's over now, and we've got a lot of Army people here that are getting on board and helping discover the conflicts of interest between the Friends of Science in Medicine and many, many, many government decisions. So until next time, hope to see you all in Canberra or Melbourne or Brisbane or Sydney soon. And the next instalment will probably be later this week when we're a little bit more informed about this NHMRC review. So share with your friends, and if you'd like to donate a little bit more money so I can get to a couple more of these events, then feel free. And many people have been donating $50, $100. It means a lot to me, I tell you. And thank you very much to all of you. Okay, bye now.